as a leader, you play the most important part in your team. They will follow your guidance. They will follow your actions. If you do bad things, like children, if you have bad behavior, your children will ultimately probably follow your bad behavior. Okay. And just like your team, if you're a bad role model to your team members, they'll pick up on it and do similar things. So it's so important to put the culture right in your team, put the right processes and thoughts into them. So remember, your team will follow your leadership. Poor leadership equals poor results. Rich leadership equals rich results. You need to train your team in all the required technology, invest in secure infrastructure, provide good equipment, ensure you have a well-equipped team, understand the latest technology, and ultimately embrace the changes in AI. So you and them will need these skills to thrive in an AI-driven world. So what I'm getting across is there is so many tools out there. You can learn a lot of it online. You can learn it on YouTube. You can learn it. Get them to teach them. Okay, invest in that. There are training academies I know in India that will train them in UK accounting or US accounting. Immerse yourself. Get them to learn this type of stuff. Get them to learn the technology. So important. Areas to look at, things like a Xero or QuickBooks or Sage are essential. Using AI, using Microsoft Copilot. There are many apps that link into these types of tools that, again, could be helpful for team members. So there's plenty there that can do this. Okay, so just kind of focus on that tech side of things as well. But I'm not going to go and talk about it. Accountancy is a trust-based business, and relationship is key. Relationship it's relationship driven. It's a huge mistake that many firms make. As I said earlier, this is the impetus of why I'm doing this whole course, is that when these spam emails or spam calls or spam DMs I get on LinkedIn, you have to stop it. That doesn't build trust. Okay, that just builds kind of negativity. It builds kind of not another, in my mind, and I've spoken to other English people here saying, oh, not another email. And everyone thinks that Indian accountants are just all about spamming. Okay, and that's not good. That's not a good way to showcase the amazing stuff that many Indian accountants can work. And as I said earlier, many people rarely buy from spam unless you're the cheapest. But do you really want to be the cheapest? Remember what I said before. You need to build trust. Now you might be thinking, Arun, well, yeah, great. How do I build trust? What am I going to do? I'm sitting in India and my potential clients are in the US or the UK. How am I going to do that? Well, luckily for you, I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay. Over the next hour, or over the next, however long it takes. Now, trust doesn't happen overnight. Trust, it takes time. You've got to be patient in this whole kind of situation. Okay, that's the first thing. If you expect to do all the stuff I'm going to talk about now and get clients immediately, you won't. All right. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes trial and error. Keep trialing and error. So let me kind of move on. But as I said earlier, I keep telling this point, but please stop spamming. Please stop. Okay, this is not helping you. It's not helping the whole Indian kind of accounting industry either. Okay, so stop that. What makes you stand out in a sea of other firms? As I said earlier, there are many firms, not just in India, but across the world. What makes you different? Okay, how are you going to differentiate yourself? We can't differentiate ourselves on cost because the Bangladeshis will always be cheaper. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So you have to differentiate yourself in other ways. Now, you've probably heard these terms before, but USP stands for unique selling point. So there are steps to doing this, and I'm not going to go into great detail, but I just want to get you to think about this. And then I'll show you what I do, and then maybe at some point you'll be able to get some ideas yourself. Firstly, develop your USP. So with your team, with colleagues, with family, with your partner, brainstorm out your ideas. Okay, just put ideas. What makes you unique? What makes you different to the offshoring firm down the road? Do you have something different? Identify your target client. Who is your target client? Is it you're going to try and be offshoring for hotels? Is it you're going to be specializing with engineering companies? Is it technology companies? Or is it accountancy firm? Then kind of think about who that is, and that could be based on your experience of work that you may have done in India. Then analyze the competition. Who's doing this? Where are they doing? What countries are they doing in? Then identify your strengths, your weaknesses. What are they? What are your strengths and weaknesses? And work out what makes you unique compared to the others. What is your unique thing compared to those competitors? Then translate your USP into the right words, and then make sure you get your USP uniquely to your client, uniquely across to your client base through a variety of media. Now there's so many media that you could use, and I'm going to come on to that in a moment, but you need to translate that. So it's not you're never going to get this perfect. It's going to be thinking, well, I know when I started off my firm, going back 20 years, this is nothing to do with the offshoring. I kind of brainstormed ideas and I thought, what should I do? How should I do it? And my idea came eventually that I'm going to my target client, a dentist. I looked at the competition. They weren't great. I saw my strengths, and my strengths were the marketing side of things. I knew my weaknesses, which I didn't really have much of an accounting team or hands-on practical knowledge. But I worked out what makes you unique, and I put myself out there. And I eventually got the messaging out there so strongly. Now we get so many inquiries in the dental and healthcare space here in the UK through Google all the time. So make sure that you think about your USP. Now, as we've developed our Samera global business, how we've done it is, again, there's so many competitors, so many people out there. Are we the cheapest? Certainly not. Okay. But what are we doing differently? Where we're positioning ourselves is around talking about our team, developing our team, doing the kind of the NGO type of work, supporting the communities that we work in. So those are the things we're trying to be different and unique. Okay. And then we present ourselves like that in the many media that we can use, from LinkedIn to YouTube to whatever. That all make us different. Okay. And so we're putting a lot of effort into the different ways of communicating that message of who we are, our culture, our team, what we do, how we do it differently. That to me is really important. There's so much content. So what do you have to do? Well, in my mind, create useful content and information and put it out there. Showcase what you're talking about. So if you've got a specialist area in hotels and how to do accounting in hotels, start putting that content out there. You can be technical. In my mind, you can be technical. You can talk about culture. You can talk about innovation. You can talk about accounting. You can talk about tech. You can talk about new business ideas. There's so many things you could be talking out there in the world we live in. We're so lucky. When I started off in business 20, 30 years ago, social media wasn't really a thing. Email was the thing, and having a website was the thing. Now we're in a world of proliferation of so many things. So we've got loads of things that we do, and I'm going to go through each of these in a minute with you. But we run a newsletter, which we share, and I know some of you are on that. With a YouTube channel, I write regularly on LinkedIn. I have a company, LinkedIn page. We have a blog. We have a podcast. We do live webinars like this. We do exhibition shows across the globe. Alternative, if we need to, if we want other strategy, could be to buy a UK or US firm, another strategy of growth. So let me go into this in more detail. This is my Samera Global website. Now, we put a lot of effort into our website, how it looks, how it works, how it flows. So just giving you, this is the homepage. We've got links to a calculator. We have a newsletter. We have details if someone wants to sell their firm. We have information here. If you go to this, it'll take you to an offshoring page. We have interesting text. We have details of an events that we're holding here in London. Details of events. This is the event we're hosting today, right with you guys right now. We have events that we're doing in America, which is exhibition. These are exhibitions in America, in Canada. So a variety of places, okay? Then we have a little bit of description about who we are, what we do. Let's start building. We have talk about our kind of charitable NGO stuff, our process. and we encourage people to book a call with us. Now, I'm not asking you to copy my website. Please don't, okay? Because that's in breach of many various legal issues, and you don't want to get into that trouble with me and my team. But I'm just showing you ideas, okay? And I want you to just to learn from these ideas. So as you said, we've got why offshore. We have how we do it. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of time and effort gone into this, okay? Time of my team, time of me. And this is a form of communication. How we present ourselves is so important, okay? If you have an out-of-date website and it looks scrappy and old, no one's going to look at it. No one's interested, okay? No one wants to see a website that looks like 10 years old and text is wrong or spelling is wrong or it just doesn't flow. You remember your customers that you're trying to attract aren't necessarily sitting in India. They're sitting in the UK, the US. They expect to see good-looking websites, okay? Trust is built up by a good-looking website that doesn't fail, that works well, that has details about why choose Samera. We have testimonials, case studies. We have details of a few members of our team, kind of the core leadership team. We have details, and so you can see here, I'm the CEO, but Pankaj is in charge of HR out of India. Gunjan's in charge of the operations out of India. Euros is one of our salespeople here in the UK. We have, I'll come back to that in a second. We have details about my unique story. I've kind of touched on it a little here, but we've got a lot more we could talk about. We have a little bit more about me. Trust, okay? Trust. People want to trust. People want to know, who are these people? Are they real, okay? We have details, as I said, about our events coming up, so they hold live events or they're going to these shows. It gives people that confidence to say, oh, okay, I'm going to see these people at this event, or I'm going to talk to these people at this, and they're legitimate, okay? If that makes sense. We have then, going back to the offshore tab, we talk about the different things. We have an offshore calculator, for instance, and works out how much they'll approximately save if they work with us. So there's a range of things on here. And then I'll link, then that's the global website. I'll then take you to this website. This is our UK website. And this was the original business, okay? Same kind of principle, but what we've done here is, this is a focus on UK clients. So we have dentists and doctors and pharmacies. All these people are our target clients. And we list the services that we do. Just talk about here. So we, in addition for our UK businesses, we also help them raise finance. So we're like a commercial finance broker, syndicated finance we do for clients. We do services, we offer accountancy services. We have events here. We have a whole range of things. Okay, and again, people can book a call with us, have a meeting with us, but it's all online. Okay, now all of this contributes to trust. That's what people want to see. Everyone's on their phone today. Everyone's on their laptop. They want to be able to see that. Okay, they're not going to respond to it. They're not going to respond to a spam email, are they? They'll search you out. They'll go to Google and search you out and think, okay, who is these people? Do they look reliable? Do they look trustworthy? Is their website good? That's what they're looking for. All right. So now I'm lucky enough to be able to do this. I've got developers, all these people in my team, but it takes money, it takes time. But if I can do it, you can do it as well. Okay. Let's go back to this website. We write a newsletter every week now. I've got some momentum. We're writing a newsletter every week, which is great. Okay. So a recent example is, I don't know, the accounting talent crisis and how to navigate it. Now this goes out to our database. It goes on. We share this with people on LinkedIn. All of these things. That's one thing that we do. In addition, we have a blog. We have a whole range of articles. from AI to talking about the Maldives win in India and how all that means for the Indian accountancy industry, which I'll be sharing shortly. I haven't shared it yet. Lead generation techniques, tech stacks for accounting firms. There's so much on here. So, but this takes. I'm not writing it. We have a team. Okay, but it builds trust up. When someone lands on this website, they, oh my God, they know this stuff. They've been talking about this. I had a client the other day. He came back to me and said, you know what? I'm going to join you because of your website. You have so much information. It's so useful. Thank you. I'm going to work with you guys. We have a podcast, something that's relatively new, but this is a podcast that we're doing at the moment. Okay. Again, getting very popular. Okay. More and more people, another medium for people to see us or hear us from. I won't go. There's a report on the UK accounting, the whole report that we've written on the UK accounting, which is massive. You can read it by all means, but someone will read it. Videos. We have videos. Are they work? Yeah. We have all these videos from YouTube, and I'll share my YouTube channel in a minute. We'll go to that in a minute. We have a free growth course. We have a course to help people grow their accountancy firms. If you haven't checked it out, please do try it out. Okay, it's still developing. We're still adding more content to this as we go along, because we haven't had the time to build it. But it's all coming. It's looking great. Okay, so all of this stuff matters. Okay, trust. This is building trust. Firstly, it looks good. Secondly, there's loads of information and content for people to read and understand or watch or listen to. What we're trying to do is immerse them in knowledge, immerse them in understanding, immerse them in thoughts that make people think, well, they're providing all this information to us. Well, they're the people we want to go to, rather than someone just saying we're the cheapest. Okay, we want the good quality people who understand us. And now but all of this, doing all of this, comes at a cost. Okay, it comes at a cost with video people, marketing people, content writers, developers. All of this costs money. It costs money. Now, therefore, I need to make sure that my pricing, I won't be the cheapest, because I need to make sure I can recover those costs I've invested in all of those other things, such as all the marketing costs, etc.